This is way gritty.
Right. What is this?
Oh fuck!
This is gritty, is it? Is this a kind of business Blomley is just going to get real pumped about? I hope it involves either like really, really manual processes, like no technology involved, or like the steel industry, or something really manufacturing heavy that both you and I know nothing about, but we can definitely take a stab at talking about.
It is both manual and turgid industries. It's both of those. And what you're going to do, I know what you're going to do, because we have touched on this, it's not brand new. You're going to try and insert some tech in it. I know you are. And I'm going to say...
Fuck off.
Fine. I am going to say fine. I'll lay your tech in, but actually that's not fundamental. What's fundamental is a room.
Oh God, here we go.
People in it.
Are they sitting down on the floor because you've not bought them desks and they've all got their phones plugged in and it's landline stuff? Yeah, not getting them a VoIP. You know, they've got to do landline. Okay, all right, hit me. Boiler, come on, boiler, come on, sure. boiler room Mark 5 with Doug Haynes. Let's do it.
Okay, I cannot get away from this idea of outsourced call centres. I love it. And I love it in South Africa because you've got native English, you've got super competent people, and you've got the international arbitrage in terms of salary. It's just a dream scenario, right? So what I've got for you today is I've got 4 different sectors that are going to benefit from these boiler rooms.
Okay. I don't know whether we should call them boiler rooms really anymore. I don't know if is that PC? I don't know if that's not I don't know, actually. Cancelled. I don't even know. I want to look at what a boiler room is. Can we, before we do that, can I just Google what a boiler room is in terms of like business? 1 second.
I don't intend it to be. This is going to be a great job.
Great. Okay.
Great social side. Okay.
Yeah. You ready? Many operators engaged in a small room in a high pressure telephone sales, especially risky or worthless investments. Hi, my name's Doug Haynes. I co-host a business ideas podcast, and what I like to do is to promote worthless and risky investments in 4 different sectors, from the shitty little boiler room that I really would love to see created in South Africa. Yeah, cancelled. Definitely like and subscribe to this channel because we're very forward thinking and we like to promote the development of the quality of work for individuals. Okay, yes, fire away. Come on, hit me. What are the sectors?
You know, I'm just envisaging a big room, lots of plants, nice
natural
classical
light,
music playing, low pressure, none of those fucking, whiteboards with targets. This is a great environment for people.
ABC.
Now, 4 sectors.
Yes.
One we've touched on. I'm going to start there. The taxi industry, right? Just walked past this morning the taxi, and this is a boiler room, on Westcliff High Street, where one of the local South End taxi firms operates. Always people in there, 24 hours a day. Mm-hmm. Let's get that in Cape Town. That's number 1. Number 2 is credit control. Ooh. So chasing up invoices.
They already do that though. That already exists, to be fair. But I suppose you're talking about putting it offshore, aren't you? Okay, yep. Carry on.
It all exists. We're just taking the idea that exists, banging it offshore.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Number 3, resourcing for recruitment firms. So recruitment firms often will go down a database because they're looking for a role, and they'll have 10,000 people on it, and they just need to clean the data. And the only way they can clean it is they phone up the candidate and they say, are you still looking for jobs? Where are you working? What are you looking for? It has to be on the phone, right?
Okay.
Perfect for my Cape Town boiler room. Perfect that, because they can go down, have those conversations. Number 4, appointment checkers. So in the NHS, some GP practices, some departments do it quite well, where they phone you before your appointment. They're like, "Oh, are you still coming?" Because it costs the NHS billions wasted appointments. But again, there's absolutely no reason that needs to be local. That can be offshored as well. And again, I think Cape Town would be a brilliant location for that. So in terms of a business, the way we do it is we just need a space. Yeah, we just need some tech that people can log on to. That's fine. And then we just need to go out to all of these use cases and just say, look, we have got really high quality, easily as good as what you find in the UK, probably better, lower cost call center that's just going to deliver you the results that you need. You're going to get people for your appointments. You're going to clean your database. You're going to get your taxis booked in properly. I mean, what is there to say? I mean, this is...
I mean, do you have any idea how much it costs in the UK to run this? I'm going to get into some actual detail. Have you got any idea?
Yeah, certainly £10 to £15 per hour per agent.
Yeah, because that's minimum wage, right?
Because that's minimum wage, yeah.
And do you? I mean, we've certainly never employed people to do this role in South Africa. But do you have an idea of what you think it could run for down there? I'd imagine half.
It's roughly half. You know, for the same, you know, purchasing power, it's roughly half.
The nice thing about South Africa, obviously, both of us have teams of great people down there, right? And we love the country, we love the way that they work and the attitude and the culture. Their culture piece is really interesting because they're quite direct. You know, they and that's what I've thoroughly enjoyed about building friendships and teams in South Africa is that they are intelligent, direct, smart people. Yeah, I mean, look, it's probably not an area that's... I don't know if I don't have much to say, really, I don't think, because it's the people I know are great. I know that there is high unemployment. I believe there's high unemployment in that. I don't know if there is in that sector, to be honest, but I know there are in other areas of the country. But then in the space we're at, in engineering, there isn't high unemployment, so I presume it's sector-driven, as always. But yeah, you principally could do it, and I think you could build an amazing culture down there. I think that's one thing that could be really interesting, is that you could, if you were to run that company in South Africa, I think you could create a real togetherness amongst it. And I think that's the key thing in that kind of job. It's like, you matter as a human being, you matter as a person. How can we make sure that this is a great working environment? We're tight as a team, because weirdly, you're not fielding responses. You're not waiting for someone from British Gas to phone you up and shout at you. You're being proactive in all of your cases, almost, bar the taxi one. So you are pushing the phone call as opposed to receiving the phone call. And I think with that, you can really train, you can really set a culture of the way that we talk with people, the way we conduct ourselves. And I think that would be quite an interesting challenge. And I think, honestly, if the margins are there, I would be looking to pay over local to get the best people, and I would sacrifice a bit of margin to do so.
Definitely worth paying over local, and I envisage there's lots of different groups that this would work for, but certainly students, like that works well for them, and then also people that, you know, have families and just need to work kind of strange hours and get extra money as well. I think there's lots of groups and lots of segments where that works. And obviously, technology allows for that to be done internationally very easily. Let's stay in Africa for a moment.
Mm-hmm.
Total change of tack, but I just want to get this in. It's not a whole episode because, well, it could be, but it would require a lot of research. But so the regulation has changed for immigration requirements for professional athletes in football. So prior to these regulations, it's really hard to get footballers from the continent of Africa into English clubs, for the reason that they had to be like established internationals from a top 50 FIFA ranked nation. Yep. So that's almost no one. So in terms of getting young talent into the UK, zero. Those regulations have relaxed considerably. Mm-hmm. So you can now have young footballers from that continent in academies in the UK, which I absolutely love, because there is a ridiculous amount of untapped talent, a talent pool in that country. So there's 100 ways you could cut a business out of this, and you know, a great business that would help clubs, would help the players.
Mm-hmm.
But I just wanted to just put that to you. Can we have an ep on this? What do you think?
I think we probably can have an ep on it. I mean, like I said, we both we both happen to have met and worked with someone who was in the Premier League, and was owned a football club in the Premier League and is from the continent. And we've had discussions with him around the opportunities for what football in Africa presents, just on a playing level, but also on a fan level, an engagement level, a brand level. There's loads of opportunities because they're football mad, and I think it's a really interesting area. Tough to, of course, access unless you really intrinsically understand it, which is why I think a lot of businesses have tried and failed to kind of get in there. But I think from the football element and the academy element, if you can scout that is another episode we should talk about, because we both love football, right? And I think it would be it'd be interesting to talk about that for 12 minutes.
There's also, hard to get these guys into like the UK league system. It's so competitive. Definitely can be doable, but it's going to take a little bit of time to get the infrastructure in place. What I really like is, have you seen that thing that Piqué's doing in Barcelona, the Kings League? It's like 7-a-side football, but with weird, like they drop the ball from like 100 yards in the sky down onto the pitch at the start. They like roll a dice, which gives random penalties and takes players off the pitch. All sorts of stuff. And there's like 12 teams in this league, but it gets millions of views on social, like Twitch and YouTube and that kind of thing. And basically, Piqué's thesis is: look, young people today bored of 11-a-side, 90-minute football. They want something more. They want something more exciting, and he's trying to create that product. So, let's get you guys from South Africa. Maybe we'll get them playing in that league first, because those players earn decent money. Yeah,
I think it's interesting. I've just had a look, by the way, when you were just detailing the football piece. Bespoke International Group, based out of South Africa. 318 employees doing exactly that idea, but there's only like one or two. I find that amazing to service the UK. I mean, it's great that it's proof, proof that the idea that you've come up with is absolutely valid. But I'm stunned there's only one or two of these companies operating there.
It's just because you could not get them into those leagues before, like, these regulations are. I don't even know if that is live now. It's coming in, but it's a totally new thing. Yeah. You could go, Charlton Athletic Academy could not have an 18-year-old from South Africa a year ago. In a year's time.
Or a year's time. End of 24, is it?
Not sure. Not exactly sure the date. But soon.
Interesting. Cool. Great. Well, I definitely think we should have an episode on that. Needs a bit of digging around, needs a bit of research. Want to read the rules. And then I think we can talk on ideas that could spawn from that rule change in the Premier League. Or it's probably to do with the immigration rules, like you say, rather than the Premier League. Okay.
Time for the outro, Rich.
Super. Well, I mean, I don't think that was as bad as I thought it was going to be. I thought this was going to be really kind of gritty. I think people providing a great service to companies all over the world from South Africa is quite aspirational. And with regard to the football, looking forward to that. So if you like this or want to hear about the football piece, do subscribe. If you want to slam Doug for his obsession with boiler rooms, please do. Pictures of Vin Diesel down below. And we'll see you soon, Doug. Thank you very much, mate.
Thanks, Rich.